She's not gonna jump off, is she? Espella! Espella, be careful. It's dangerous up there. Please, Espella, come down. Sorry, everyone. I have no right to be here anymore. Nick, Espella's gonna do something crazy. I can see that, but what the heck can I do? Espella, please don't make any hasty decisions. Mr. Layton. The truth is close now. Be brave for a little while longer. The truth? As if it wasn't clear already. If I hadn't rung that bell, everything would have been fine.
Objection.
May be mistaken. You still don't know the whole story. You know, Layton, you could just come out and say the whole freaking story, and we wouldn't have to go through all this song and dance. Huh? Isn't that so, Mr. Wright? I had the same feeling when I was listening to Eve's testimony. Felt something was not right. Really, I thought that was pretty much it. Again, you're reading my thoughts. The pieces of the puzzle that don't fit are themselves the hint to the solution. No way. You mean Espella didn't ring the bell? What nonsense, of course she did. As it stands, it's hard to say for sure that she didn't ring the bell. However, we've got evidence that will clear any doubts. Let me save first. You know what's funny? This game is the reason you got into Ace Attorney to begin with, since you had been a Layton fan for so long and ended up picking up this game as a result. You never played an Ace Attorney game before this and actually got really hooked on the court mechanics. So you checked out the full Ace Attorney series, thus began a journey through what is now one of your favorite gaming series. That is awesome. Do you really wish you got ports of Ace Attorney 4 through 6 on modern platforms, especially since 5 and 6 are digital on 3DS and does not run well on emulators, apparently? That is why I am not emulating the game. It's because I hear that there are emulator ports out there that, you know, don't work so hot. So, you know, I was like, all right, you know, I gotta play this on the 3DS itself. Am I gonna play the DLC episodes too? I don't know. I think I think there's probably like a 90% chance that that I won't. But something that's happened in the past is someone on YouTube, I think it was for Professor Layton Curious Village. I didn't do the post game, and someone on YouTube was like, "Hey, you know, could you do the post game?" And I was like, "I can add that to my viewer recommended list." And so I think I would probably treat the post game for this game in a similar way. I think maybe I don't know what the DLC episodes entail, if I even have the DLC episodes. But you know, if it's like a post game, you know, I could probably treat it something like that. If you had a nickel for every time Espella tried to kill herself in this game, you'd probably have $5. Then Darklaw runs up the tower and jumps herself. Nah, I don't think that's gonna happen. DLC episodes explain a few things that don't come up in the main game and talk about some meta aspects of the game, like how their living statuses at the start if magic isn't real. Let's see, you unlock DLC automatically at the end. Okay. I need to show some evidence. I found what has been bothering my nose this entire time. And would you believe it? It's cat hair. Spella, can you hear me? Yes? Where you're standing now is the same spot from where you saw this fire dragon. Oh, they're gonna use this as the method. Not that she's not tall enough, but that if she rang the bell, she would be over by the mechanism. Okay, you know what? I wasn't thinking of that. That's a great deduction there. This fretwork here is the same as when I saw that day. When I looked at it now, it seems so small, even adorable. Defense? What does this have to do with anything? As you will no doubt recall, Mr. Cantabella told us that people who drink the groundwater here suffer from a condition where they fall unconscious the moment they hear the sound of pure silver. After the bell sounded, you recovered consciousness sooner than Espella. You ran to her side and shook her awake. As soon as she opened her eyes, she saw the fire dragon. In other words, if it was Espella who rang the bell, that would mean the device for ringing the bell must be very close to the fretwork of the dragon. Espella, can you please check that for me? See if the contraption is located near the dragon fretwork. I'm okay, give me a minute. Mr. Wright, Espella, did you find it? I don't know if it's the right thing, but there's something on the other side of the belfry. A contraption with a handle. What? On the other side? That's right. I figured there was something weird when we went up to the bell tower. But I couldn't quite put my finger on it. No way. You see where I'm going with this, don't you, Miss Belduke? If it was Espella who rang the bell, there's no way she could have seen the fire dragon when she woke up. No, this can't be right. An excellent deduction, Mr. Wright. Miss Darklaw. It seems that everything now is as clear as day. What do you mean? Why, of course. I mean the answer to that question of who rang the bell. It was her. It had to be. What do you say, Mr. Wright? Looks like we've arrived at the same conclusion. Just gonna save just in case. Cat hair is still on my mustache. We now know that only one person could have done it. Wait, what good will saying it out loud do? There's a problem, Mr. Cantabella. It wasn't your daughter who rang the bell. Should that not lift some burden off your shoulders? Are you not curious to know the name of the true culprit, who has pinned the blame on your daughter all this while? How about you stop taunting us? Just say the name already. Who is this true culprit? Let's do it, Professor. Are you ready? I'm always ready, Mr. Wright. Time to set things straight. Who is the real person? It's the gato. I've been saying this all this time. The gato is the reason. The cat is the witch. I've been saying it this entire time. You know that I am right.
Have a look.
Everybody knows it. It's you, Eve Belduke. I got it. I got it. Me, but there were only 2 of you in the belfry at the time. You know that better than anyone. And as it wasn't Espella who rang the bell, it had to be you. That's preposterous. It can't be. It was an extremely traumatizing event for both of you and Espella. Your friend's memories were altered from the shock without her even realizing it. She believed she was a witch who rang the bell and summoned a dragon which incinerated the town. However, Miss Belduke, Espella wasn't the only one whose memories were warped by the horrors you two witnessed. You were affected as well.
No. It wasn't me. Espella, she rang the bell. It was her, not me. But why? What are these flashbacks? I've never had these before.
You guys realize what this means, right? I was correct the entire time. I said Darklaw was the Great Witch Bazella. And I was right.
What's the matter? I don't want to do this now. We'll be taken over by Bazella. Bazella is just a fairy tale. And you're the one who said you wanted to come and ring the bell. I did, but I changed my mind. Hey? After coming all this way? Oh. Hmm?
I told you she was too short.
That nightmare was too much for two young girls to take in. Your young minds needed to protect themselves. That's why you subconsciously repressed those memories.
Then, if that's true, for the past 10 years, I've been pinning the blame for what I've done on Espella. It can't be. It can't be true. It's impossible!
Ah!
Darklaw's just disappeared!
She's donned the invisibility robe.
Which they still haven't explained, by the way. You don't just turn invisible because you put on a Harry Potter cloak of invisibility, you know? Inquisitor Darklaw, she's run away. But did you hear that? It was her that once destroyed this town. Our lives have already been messed up. So much, we don't need this now. She's got to pay for what she did and capture her.
Oh, Nick, look at the bell tower!
I gotta look at this save real quick. That's what I gotta do. You're extremely smug about revealing this traumatizing event. Yeah, I really don't like Inquisitor Layton in this this part of the game. He is the very opposite of a gentleman in this case. Barnham missed all these revelations. Yeah, some inquisitor he is. By the way, the fact that Bill Hawks is implied to be on this plan with the storyteller makes you angry. Can't keep getting away with it. I don't know who Bill Hawks is. What it means is that everyone in this town needs some darn therapy and to live somewhere that's not set in medieval times. Yep, you know what? I agree with that. You know who says that? Someone who doesn't have a Harry Potter cloak of invisibility? You know what? You're darn right. I wish I did have one of those things. Okay, but the storyteller set this up, and they all agreed to these contracts. If you're brainwashed to forget that you gave consent, does it still count as consent? That was something that I considered. There's also the issue of, like, how do you know if you don't want to do it anymore? You know, it's a weird scenario to put yourself in, but like if you sign a contract that says, okay, I got to go live on this island for 5 years, and they drug you so that you remember, or you don't remember that you signed a contract, then like, what if you want to leave the island? You know, like, do they just say, okay, you know, we'll undrug you now? I don't understand it. I really, really don't. Also, how do they select what memories you lose? They create shades. Clearly, they have to use some sort of alchemical concoction made from Belduke. So how do they erase all the memories from Labyrinthia for the shades and then create the new memories of whatchamacallit? It's... I don't know.
Espella's gone!
No, she's on the roof!
I beg you, don't blame Eve. It really doesn't matter anymore who rang the accursed bell. This town was all created for me. It's my fault you've all been used and suffered so much.
Espella, what are you saying? Please, come down right now. You haven't done anything wrong. It was all my fault.
How did she get up there?
Dad, I know that you did this for me. You've been so kind to me. And what did I do? I selfishly ran away from home.
Espella.
I will finish your story for you. The evil witch will be gone forever, and everyone will live happily ever after. Dad, thank you for everything you've done for me.
There is no way they are going to show Espella killing herself. There is no way.
Wait! Don't do it, Espella!
All right. I thought this might happen.
What are you... Isn't that... Darklaw? But why, Eve? Why would you? I finally remembered everything I've done.
You're not the only one who remembered. You still have the pendant.
Yes, of course. That's because... somehow I always knew it was important to me.
Espella.
You kept your pendant as well, didn't you, Eve?
For some reason, I just couldn't let it go.
How did she get up there?
Espella! Miss Darklaw!
Quick! They'll fall if we don't do something!
Let's go. We have to save them.
They need...
No, you won't make it there in time.
Why?
The wooden handrail Eve's holding onto is rotted through. We need some sort of magic to save them.
No way!
Magic, you say?
Got an idea, Professor?
If a bit of magic is all that's needed to save these two young ladies, then perhaps that is something I can arrange.
What? You can?
We would have been all the way up the steps by now.
Oh!
You have to let go, otherwise you'll fall too.
Layton's a sucker fool.
Professor?
I hate you, Layton. You are such a sucker fool. I am so sick and tired of Inquisitor Layton. I am so sick and tired of him. What's going on here? Anyone? Professor, you're a sorcerer. No, Miss Fey. We have already established that magic doesn't exist, even in this town. But then how did you just do that? What you have just seen was the last and greatest illusion within Labyrinthia. Illusion? Magic is but an illusion, and this illusion has been produced through the power of suggestion and Labyrinth's medication. Everyone in Labyrinthia has been under this particular magic spell. Now then, shall we break the spell? See, I hate it. I hate it. Layton is such a sucker fool. Magic is the last mystery to be solved. You've seen through all my tricks, Layton. I wouldn't have done it without the vital hint you gave me when we spoke in your tower. Final spells concealed at the start. Okay, so what does that mean? As you know, all spells are listed within this book. Right, the Grand Grimoire. Now, what did Mr. Cantabella mean by the start? The front cover. Precisely, Mr. Wright. The final spell shall dispel the illusion. The correct incantation is hidden on the front cover itself.
Well then, Mr. Wright. This is the final puzzle. Soon, a new day will begin for the townspeople. Let us put an end to this illusion. Once and for all.
You're such a sucker.
Yeah!
You're such a sucker. "90 picarettes. Hidden on the cover of the Grand Grimoire are the characters that spell out the true magical incantation. Select the characters on the touchscreen and slide them over their counterparts on the tome's cover to make them vanish. The grand finale approaches. Remove the extra magical characters from the Grand Grimoire's cover to reveal the hidden incantation." A little confused. Symbols come in all shapes and sizes, making them quite difficult to spot. Find all the hidden characters on the upper screen to unveil the hidden incantation. Can I just say that Layton is such a suckafoo. Unbelievably a suckafoo. I was like, I finally remembered everything I did, but she didn't do anything. She literally did nothing. This bell tower has almost killed too many people. It's a lot. It is a lot. It's so much. Hating on Layton? This is the best part? Why did he need to run there, though? Because? Oh my gosh. Running there is the best part. I don't see this one. I see this one, but I wonder if it'll let me do that. You think it'll let me do that? It will let me do that. Wow. That one was not very nice, by the way. I guess this is right here.
Let us think about it together.
I like the music during that puzzle.
Has an answer.
I don't know if they play that music anywhere else, but I like that.
The sun is rising, and when it does, its light will reveal the truth behind Labyrinthia's mysteries.
Now, Professor?
Yes. Shall we, Mr. Wright? Till Ender!
So this is the real magic behind Labyrinthia.
Excellent work, my boy.
Huh? Hey, it's Luke!
Hang on a second. The town's full of machinery?
So much for magic. It was all done with these machines.
That's right. With magic, witches can fly, buildings can disappear. Those are no easy feats to stage. To make all those incredible things real, we needed a great deal of machinery.
Couldn't he have just I don't know, made the magic a bit simpler?
A witch would say the incantation, and shades would stop time with their silver bells.
And they'd go wild with these machines, making all sorts of crazy stuff happen. That's so cool. I'd love to try it.
I took a quick crash course before operating the machines. Not bad, hey?
Yes, Luke. What would we do without you?
So when's my turn? I want to pick something up off the ground and make it fly through the air.
I wish you'd stop looking at me when you say that, Maya.
Well, in any case, I think we should head back to the courthouse.
Right you are, Professor. The judge might have fallen asleep waiting for us.
The sun has risen above Labyrinthia, and has shown us our town's true form. Well, I really don't think there's any need for a verdict anymore. The witches on trial weren't witches after all. I am deeply relieved that those I have sentenced are still alive and well. At last, I can step down from this seat with a clear conscience. And now, the final verdict in the last witches' court session ever to be held.
I ain't down. I ain't down. I am not down. I am not down. Layton has become cocky, and you like Layton, but you can't deny he's definitely become being egomaniacal there. Oh, 100%. 100%. Also, you love how Layton is like, magic doesn't exist. That would be absurd. Also, allow me to introduce my associates, a child who can speak to animals like Eliza Thornberry, a spirit medium, and a lawyer with a magic lie detector. By the way, you don't really understand how the storyteller decided the best way to fix Aspella and Eve's trauma was to create a story where other people like Jean try to commit suicide because they were being born as monsters. What he did was traumatize even more people. It's crazy. But, you know, when you erase their memories, you can just put them through all of that all over again. Didn't even fix Aspella and Eve's problems. Yeah? Yeah? I mean, let's be honest here, okay? We get Aspella off the thing, and she's like, you know what? Save me. I'm so happy for that. I'm just gonna go to the bathroom real quick. And then she goes up to the watchtower again, and then she jumps off. And then she dies. You know, it's like, just because you saved her doesn't mean the problem is over. The pursuit theme from Labyrinthia doesn't play very often, though. All right, well, I dug that particular theme. The biggest head shake you've ever seen. I feel like my brain was ringing in my head after a while. Well, that's right. Luke was operating the crane, so Layton didn't even have to point. Yeah. He was just being over the top for no reason. He's being a sucker foo. This is the problem with Inquisitor Layton. He wants to do everything for the dramatic flair, and it's honestly obnoxious. Yeah, it just works. The implausibility of that is staggering. Like, just put everyone to sleep and make a gold statue on the spot every time someone casts Goldor. It's they're still the biggest question out of everything that they still don't answer. How do they turn invisible? You have these machines that are invisible. You have these people that are invisible. You have a bell tower that's invisible. How does that work? It makes no sense. It makes no sense. Was that spell actually in the book? What did the description say? Ends the whole illusion, ends everyone's lives? And how did they know the name of the spell as well? You know, it's not like it was written like every other spell. But yeah, no one really died the whole game. This is the only Ace Attorney game without any murder trials, technically. Oh, and there's an explanation for the invisibility, and it's stupid. They knew the name of the spell because they read the script. But Layton and Phoenix don't know the script. I'm very grateful for all the help, Professor. Feelings mutual, Mr. Wright. A gentleman always fights for the truth. I could not have done otherwise. I would like to congratulate the two of you. You both did splendidly in the court. Oh, it's the judge. He brought to light the truth about this town. You know the cat's collar was on fire, right? I just want to throw that out there. You don't light a cat on fire and expect them to just sit there and be chill. Although I still find it astonishing that we could not see all of this. Cannot even begin to imagine how it was achieved. You were all given a very simple instruction when you were hypnotized. You cannot see pure black. That was sufficient. So I don't want to say that this isn't possible. I'm sure there is some crazy I mean, you could probably do some crazy things with hypnosis. But I feel like everybody sees colors differently. A pure black to me is probably not the exact same pure black to somebody else. Don't even get me started with colorblind people. So, like, how do you take that into account? And then on top of that, you're just like I'm gonna keep going. Maybe they'll explain that they hypnotized Layton and crew as well, and that hypnosis, it just never wears off ever. Oh, now I see. These strange contraptions are made of some sort of black metal. Wait just a second. There are plenty of black objects all over Labyrinthia, aren't there? Yeah, that's right. My hair is charcoal black too. But it's not pure black. What? What we often perceive as the color black is in fact far from being pure black. Our brains interpret reflections of light as colors. Objects which reflect even the smallest amount of light are not pure black. Pure black is only encountered within nature as darkness. Oh my gosh. Darkness, sir. The machines used in Labyrinthia are coated in a special material developed by Labrilum ink. It absorbs light without reflecting any. It is the only material that can be said to be pure black. I bet this invisibility robe is also made of that same material, right? That's correct. And of course, the bell tower was concealed using the same material as well. When you think about it, this town abounds in all things invisible. Huh. Miss Darklaw, or should I say Miss Belduke? Yes? For 10 long years, your memories had been suppressed. The truth about what occurred in the belfry was invisible to me, you mean? Mr. Cantabella and your father knew it all along. They knew who actually rang the bell. What? Did they really? Is that true, Cantabella? As we have demonstrated, it was easy to deduce from the situation in the belfry. But if he knew all that all along, why didn't he say something? It was, of course, for your own good.
Don't be angry at her!
You were trying to pin the blame on the disaster. You were trying to pin the blame for that disaster on Espella. Yes, I was, but if you knew that, why did you keep quiet about it? If you had only scolded me back then for lying, maybe Espella wouldn't have suffered such trauma. It was your eyes, Eve. What? Your eyes weren't those of a liar. You believed in what you said. You truly thought it was Espella. I imagine that in the chat, someone has probably typed or will type, yes, that's right. Arthur traumatized his own girl because the eyes of another girl were not those of a liar. And I agree. That is very, very, very messed up. What you saw was too much to bear, or for you to bear. Your mind blocked out the real memory of what happened in order to maintain your own sanity. Had I called you a liar then, you would probably have suffered a mental breakdown. Mr. Cantabella and your father created this town. You were mistaken in thinking it was purely for Espella's sake. It was also for you, Miss Belduke. Remember what your father wrote in his suicide note.
I have only two concerns. The first is my daughter. It pains me to be leaving her alone in this world, although she probably doesn't think of me as her father.
I had an argument with my father once. He was always thinking only about the town and paid no attention to me. So you moved out and broke off contact with him. But you were wrong about your father. Not a single day passed without him thinking about you. He helped to make the story I was weaving a reality for your sake. I've been so ignorant. So convinced father was driven to suicide by you. Your father couldn't bear the sense of guilt he had accumulated over the past 10 years. Even though he killed himself in the end, I believe you were always the most important person to him. And so he killed himself. Yeah.
Espella! Espella, what I did to you is unforgivable. I rewrote your story, putting you through all this. I can't believe I went to such an extreme because of one wrong assumption.
No, it's okay, Eve. I wasn't angry.
You weren't?
You've always been on my side, protecting me. And even today, you saved my life.
Espella.
I also owe you an apology. After all, I forgot about my dearest friend. I'm so sorry, Eve. Ah, there you are, Eve. Where were you?
Your cat's called Eve.
You know what I've just noticed? You two are very much alike. You and Eve the cat.
What? It's all in your head.
It looks like Eve has taken a liking to the other Eve.
You've got that right, and the similarity is really striking.
Oh dear.
My accidental guests, Professor Layton and Mr. Wright.
Yes?
You have cost my company a lot of money today. I'll see you in court.
I must say, I am indebted to you.
Don't mention it.
You know, when I started planning my revenge 3 months ago, Mr. Layton was a part of my plans. I needed to lure him to Labyrinthia.
Why me?
You were famous in London, and word of your skills reached me even here. What's more, you specialize in mysteries. So I thought that if you came to this town, you'd feel compelled to solve ours.
Well, I am honored.
That's cool. And what about me?
Well, about you. How should I put it? Your arrival here was purely accidental.
You mean it wasn't planned?
As you know, Espella escaped and got involved in that incident on the freighter. As a consequence, I had no choice but to bring you here.
I see. I shouldn't have asked. My fragile pride has suffered yet another blow.
It doesn't make any sense.
Nick, you can't escape your fate. You're doomed to always find trouble if it doesn't find you first.
How about some words of sympathy for a change?
Also, weren't the shades on above ground? Weren't they just disappearing in front of people? Those people above ground are not hypnotized so that they can't see pure black, you know? Get out of here. Get out of here. This suckerfoo game.
I am terribly sorry. The only thing on my mind the last 3 months was revenge.
Whatever your intentions were, the last witch trial has ended in the best possible way for this town. You were correct in your judgment. You always are.
You're too kind to me.
I thank you from the bottom of my heart, Eve, for opening my eyes.
Sorry to break up this little happy ending, but I've sort of got an important question. Why were you going to end the story?
Only Newton knew the real reason. I am suffering from an incurable illness.
What?
Dad, you're ill. Is it serious?
Come on. This is not necessary.
It is a rare disease with no known cure.
It's called cancer.
Why didn't you tell me? Had I known...
I wanted this to be my secret. I suppose that was a bad decision on my part. I thought I'd finish the story before I died and lay the foundations for a new world. Honestly, I was desperate. I didn't much care about Labyrinthia anymore.
Dad, why did it have to happen to you? Especially now that we're finally back together.
Cheer up, Espella.
How can I?
Labrellum's new drug development center contacted me a short while ago. They have succeeded in creating a new medicine, thanks to Belduke's research. It's a top-secret wonder drug for my illness.
Didn't you just say it was incurable?
A wonder drug?
Newton had been working on finding a cure for my illness until the very end. It would seem that the cure was his final gift to me.
You just said it was incurable.
My father.
Newton was the truest friend I ever had. I'm going to undergo surgery. Do not fear, I shall return. So stop making that sad face, Espella.
Dad, will everything be back to how it once was?
What do you think? Everybody and their mamas can see all the machinery all around. And there's no more witches. What do you think, Espella? Just take a guess.
Of course it will.
And Eve, will you still be my friend? Of course. Thank you.
I'm going to drop by Miss Leclerc's bakery. Got so much to tell her. Do you mind if I go, Dad? It won't take long. Of course not, please do. Looks like Eve wants to come too. What? Oh, you meant the cat. Espella, mind if we tag along? Not at all, you're welcome to come. Awesome. Maybe we'll get some tasty baked bread out of this. Thought we were going there for a different reason. Well, anyway, I'll be off then, Professor. Pass on my regards to Miss Leclerc, Luke. They're not going to end this game, are they? They are not going to end this game. We're going to be here for an eternity. I missed a lot on chat. I'll just see if I can go through it quickly. No one ran into those machines in 10 years? Yeah, I was thinking the exact same thing. You know, no stupid kid decided to climb up on top of their house and throw rocks at people or something like that. Like, come on. Come on. Shades made mistakes with magic, like making a gold statue of the wrong thing for Jean, but they never managed to let anyone come into contact with the machinery in 10 years. Also, Eve. Oh yeah, that does mean that they made that mistake, didn't they? Yeah. Also, Eve got over killing her mom and all those people really fast. Yeah. Arthur traumatized his girl because the eyes of another girl were not a girl. So did all this to protect Eve from a mental breakdown, only to wind up causing the death of her other parent. Yep. Yep. Like all of this could have been solved by hiring a therapist. Ah, therapists don't exist in this world. They don't exist. Also, the fact that the British government is developing mass hypnosis technology is being very much overlooked right now. Yeah, they don't really care. You know, weapons of war and all that. Unexplained why she tried to frame Espella in the real world court. Yeah, they haven't done that either. Layton was lured by Carmen Accidency's letter story. Why frame Espella? Want her to be easily sentenced. Yeah, I don't know. You genuinely laughed yourself to tears at how this man said, I have an incurable disease and I will be dying soon, only to turn around less than 15 seconds later and go, actually, my boys just made a cure for it, so I'll be fine. Yeah, I do see what Epic Otter meant by, you know, they're trying to make you feel bad for him at like the last second. It's so, like, you don't introduce a problem and then fix that problem 15 seconds later, you know? That would have been something to introduce in the middle of the game. And then have us be surprised and be like, oh, there's a cure. Or maybe like we find the cure or something like that. I don't know. Had to plug in the charger cord. 3DS running out of batteries. Want to think he found out after he ended the story? Well, but you wouldn't say like, I have an incurable disease. You would say, I have a disease that was like previously incurable. However, my homies, they actually helped me out. And I'll be fine as long as I survive the surgery. So what's going to happen to the town? I've released everyone from hypnosis. They will soon recover the memories of their lives before Labyrinthia. How does that work exactly? You have people that have been living a specific life for 10 years, and they can't remember anything prior to that point. How do you just give them back their memories with hypnosis? Can you go into a little bit more specifics of that, Arthur, and tell us how that works? As of today, Project Labyrinthia is over. See, they are free to leave if they wish. If they so wish, I imagine they will make a run for it. This place will turn into uninhabited ruins, just like it was 10 years ago. Nah, everybody's gonna stay here.
I have some doubts about that.
Everybody and their mamas is gonna stay here.
Your Honor!
I now understand that this town is an artificial creation of yours. Nonetheless, to us Labyrinthians, the past 10 years were real.
No one can yet tell how this town will change. However, it is possible that some people will want to stay. Who knows? Perhaps you will find yourself creating a new town along with them.
A new town, you say?
I am no longer the judge, but, if possible, I would like to remain here.
You have my gratitude, Your Honor.
You need not address me as Your Honor anymore, Sir Storyteller.
And so, the last witch trial has drawn to a close.
You're just gonna leave the bell there? What's wrong with you?
What did Mr. Wright, Mr. Layton, and my father talk about? That I do not know. But Dad made a promise to me. Once everyone recovers their memories and he is cured of his illness, he will return to write a new story with everyone's help. This time, the story will be real without any lies or illusions.
Huh? Huh?
What a beautiful sound.
Almost as if it's ringing in a new beginning for the town.
Thank you, Eve.
Okay then. Whenever you are ready, Mr. Barnum.
You suck of food.
Thank you! Thank you all so much for everything!
Espella, you take care now.
You too, Mr. Cantabella. Bye! Be sure to visit us again!
You can bet on it!
I wish all of you the very best. Mr. Wright, I knew I could count on you to stand your ground and fight me to the very end.
Me too. I always believed in you, Professor. And I know it's why we managed to get to the mysterious truth behind this town.
When we get back to England, we'll drop by and see you, Luke.
Great! I'll show you around London. Oh.